Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Deep Cat's Reactions, and my name's Greg, and I think this is the last one for today. So anyway, I'm going to play something that somebody suggested that they just thought was a beautiful song. So that's why I'm playing it, and it's Ellie Mae by Fred Smith, and they were saying just in a little blurb that he's a diplomat besides being a musician, which is kind of cool. I don't know anything about it, but I just thought that was cool. So anyway, here's Fred Smith doing Ellie Mae.
Well, I was on a tall ship sailing south down from Portland, Maine. The ship had guns, it was 61 on the 17th of May. Accompanying the Stone Fleet to the mouth of Confederate Charleston Bay. We set a course to reinforce Samuel DuPont's blockade. Civil War winds are blowing. I was just 17. I didn't want to die without knowing, if you know what I mean. Sailing down the east coast to resupply, we turned into Chesapeake Bay. At Hampton Mews, me and the crew went ashore to play. We stepped into a whorehouse to carouse and there to spend our pay. Well, I was scared till I got paired with a young one, Ellie Mae. I was eager but nervous. She was sweet for a whore, like me pressed into service on a hard ship of war. I followed her down a hallway, through a dark creaking door. There we found a sweet religion on a mattress on the floor. Well, I woke up the next morning, stoned the crows, there'd be hell to pay. I had failed, the ship had sailed, as I slept with Ellie Mae. Swear to God I'm no deserter, but I'd be tried and sentenced to be hung if I was found. So I went to ground in that summer of '61. Madam needed a worker, brought her back and strung of arm to clean the barn, change the kegs, and keep the girls safe from harm. Well, out of all that whole crew, only one survived, and his name was Bill Coltrane. The rest were killed at Secessionville or the Battle of Mobile Bay. Billy walked into that barroom. Years had passed, it was 1865. He saw my face in its disgrace and said, "Jim, I see you're still alive." I was saving the Union. You deserted the boat. I'll take that young one in the corner. Hey boy, you take my coat. Well, I said, "Billy, hold on. Change your plans, the young one isn't free. She has a name, it's Ellie Mae, and she belongs to me." Billy said, "You know I kill men. Stand aside, a whore is a whore is a whore." Well, I was satisfied, so run and hide like you did before. Then he pulled out a dagger and had it up at my throat. I dashed a bottle across his temple and gave the man back his coat. Well, it was on a warm day in '66 when the war was done. I traveled north to Plymouth Port. Say hello to Mom, so good to see her old face at the door, looking so surprised. The letter had read that I was dead when clearly I was still alive. She asked for my story. What was I supposed to say? I just said, Mother, meet my children and my good wife Ellie Mae.
Oh, that was very cool. Very cool. Uh, Great story, and just his delivery on the whole thing was the pacing was excellent, and I don't know. I loved it when that violinist came in, and she was just so joyous. It's a, I don't know, it's an uplifting, joyous song to me. I mean, a couple of people doing an honest living, and surviving, making it, children. What a cool thing. He was still alive. So I don't know. I just thought it was a great story, and like I say, she was so joyous playing that violin, and the whole thing just felt joyous to me, or at least a lot of it did, which doesn't seem to make sense, but it certainly does to me. But I like the way he plays guitar, and it's also sensitive, and I don't know. At one point, he was kind of doing a little dance, and that was cool. I don't know. Of course, it's what he's talking about. I mean, I know he's Australian, but he's talking about American history, and so yeah, I know all the stuff he's talking about, and so that added a nice little accompaniment to it. So anyway, hope you all like that, and I'll be back tomorrow. So hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and we'll see y'all then. Bye bye.